I got a C in calculus, so go with that information.
Right. Right. Dylan Brooks gets a 3-year, $26.33 per year deal. I don't. I never like to have like buyer's or seller's remorse if I can. But looking back at this, do you think jettisoning Dylan was a bad move, a premature move, the right move?
I'm glad you threw premature in there because I think that may have been part of it. How quick are you to move on from a player or from a core unit is always a question. One of the great failures of weaknesses, I should say, of general managers is you fall in love with your players and you hang on to them too long. In this case, maybe it was, Dylan, this was the genesis of Dylan the Villain. And it was, I think, causing some distraction within the organization and within the locker room. And what you have to understand is Dylan the Villain is his on-court role. Off the court, he's a sweetheart of a guy. I mean, I love Dylan Brooks, but I think it was the rough physical play, the technical fouls. I believe that the Grizzlies felt it was taking away from the identity of the team, and it was creating some unwanted, I don't know, drama is the right word, but it did create something that the organization probably wasn't comfortable with. And so they moved on. Having said that, his grit and grind type personality is fitting really, really well with Jordan Phoenix. And so that's why they rewarded him with that big deal.
I would say this to you, not revisionist history. This is the truth. Dylan Brooks brought that move upon himself. I thought he exacerbated the issues. I think it was like he was trying to get out of Memphis. I really do. The fan base had kind of turned on him. You said the issues in the locker room. If there was a guy who was in that position, and it were me and I want to stay, I think I would have changed my approach a little bit, and he accelerated that approach. So I kind of think he wanted out and kind of forced his hand a little bit on that. But I do think he's a solid player. I didn't see, like in the playoffs last year for Phoenix, and he just re-signed with Phoenix, the dude averaged 26 points and I want to say like six assists. I mean, he was a solid player.
Right. And his
defends.
Yeah, in his latter years in Memphis, you were just doing the game, pleading, please, Dylan, don't shoot. So there were a lot of things. I think Dylan was trying to create a persona, create a brand, and it probably got a little bit out of hand. I don't know that he wanted out of Memphis. I thought he really liked Memphis, but he was trying so hard to create a brand, and it's like, okay, are you trying to be a teammate or are you trying to create a brand? And that's a question that I think he was just trying to create this persona, and probably got a little out of hand.
Do you know what's going on in this Kawhi Leonard case that could go into next season? And if that's the case, who does Kawhi play for? What's that deal all about? I know it's about making money outside of the cap for a company through an endorsement that's actually owned by the owner, and they're looking in a conflict of interest there and really paying beyond the cap. But why is this so hard? Why would it go into 2027? And if it does, who does Kawhi Leonard play for?
That's a very good question. Why is it taking so long? I have no idea, unless there is much, much more to this than even what Pablo Torre has been able to find out. And now there was something, and I'm not fully cognizant of the details about Kawhi and his dad investing in a soccer team in Rhode Island. And so that's another, like, okay, this is very un-Kawhi-like.
Yeah.
So what's going on here? So why it is taking this long, I have no idea. Of course, the cynics are saying the NBA doesn't want to come down hard on Steve Ballmer because he's got so much money, and any financial penalty you'd impose on Steve Ballmer, he's not going to care,
right?
Because he has so much money. But it really does gum up the works, particularly for Toronto, because they'd like him back.
Yeah. I get. I don't know what's going to happen with this. That's, I guess, on Adam Silver and company. And last thing, I always like to check with you. We know FanDuel is no longer FanDuel. It's not there. Where will the Grizzlies broadcast be? I know you're set for life as the Grizzlies TV announcer, but you got to have a place to do the games, to distribute the games. Where are we going to watch you?
I'm not privy to those negotiations, but I believe that a lot of the teams that have not already signed deals there, and they're nearing the finish line of whatever arrangements they're going to make. I would imagine that it might be a bit before there's a final announcement, but negotiations are ongoing, and like I said, I'm not privy to them, so I'm not. I can't really shed much light on it, other than I've been told it's the same announce crew. It's going to be the same production crew, with the exception of Scott Zachary, who our producer, who has retired and has gone back to the Pacific Northwest. So it'll be the same crew, be the same quality broadcast, and where it will be, that is yet to be announced and finalized.
Is Tom Hewitt, who spends more time in Memphis than he does his native Pittsburgh, is Tom Hewitt still going to be the guy on directing?
Yes, Tom will be directing, and the Grizzlies have brought an Emmy Award-winning producer on board. So we're looking forward to welcoming him and getting on with the season. We can't wait for it to start.
Yeah, that is interesting, I guess. And I have no inside knowledge to the workings of what's going on with these deals, but I guess if worst comes to worst, they could always put it on as a pay-per-view thing, or free, I guess, on the Grizzlies website.
Yeah, I mean, distribution there, Grind City Media, that believe me, the team has looked at all the various options, and, teams are making a decision whether they want to put it on free TV, which in previous years, Dallas and Utah and Phoenix have done, and they've lost their shirt financially. Or can you find, another alternative that is willing to pay you a rights fee, where you might break even or make a little money, because teams are swinging from getting tens of millions of dollars from a regional sports network to getting nothing. And that's a major hit, because for the longest time, television rights fees were the biggest profit center for an NBA franchise, and that's no longer the case, unless you're the Lakers, which I think they're getting something like $100 million from Spectrum out in Los Angeles,
or the Yankees, or the Knicks from yes,
right.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. Pete Pranica, always a pleasure chatting with you. I can't wait to pick your mind on now wine when you come back.
Well, I actually will be back next week, because I'm going to be there for the FedEx St. Jude, playing in the Danny Thomas Celeb Am on Thursday, and we'll be at the course on Friday. So looking forward to being back in Memphis, get a little barbecue, and walking around TPC Southland.
All right, you'll be at Chickasaw for that Danny Thomas Celebrity
Correct.
Classic. Yeah?
Yes, sir.
All right, we'll look for you there. Thank you much.
You got it.
That's Pete Pratica, TV voice of the Grizzlies, as we sit in the Family Leisure studio. I know there's going to be a Labor Day sale, but we still got the ultimate pool party sale going on, where you can get above ground pools. Those started under $4,000. The in-ground pools, state of the art. They didn't used to do this. Now they've got this great new technology. You can get it for a good price, under $50,000. 5-piece patio furniture sets, price to move. You get a free umbrella and a base if you buy one of those. And if you mention us, just say J-Ham. You're going to get $200 off your pool or your spa. It's that simple. Head to I-40 and Whidden Road and go see the good folks at Family Leisure. When we come back, I don't know where he is right now. I know it was, I think, both Doolin Dodgers in the final for the Connie Mack World Series. Who won? Tim Doolin will let us know in a minute.
You have opinions?
I think it's over.
Of course you do.
I don't think it's that simple.
Everyone does.
I got all the answers.
Hit us up on the Sissy's Log Cabin listener line at 360-8255.
Uncorked flavor, Corky's Bar.
Hey y'all, Jimmy Stovall here with Corky's Barbecue. Catering is our specialty. Memphians have trusted Corky's to cater their events for 40 years because we make it easy for you and delicious for your guests. Whether it's 50 people or a crowd of thousands, our experienced team comes to your location, sets up, serves, and ensures everyone enjoys a Corky's all-you-can-eat barbecue buffet starting at only $7.99 per person. You can't beat it. With 40 years of experience, it's easy to see why customers choose Corky's time and time again for all of their catering needs. Visit Corky'sBBQ.com to book us for your next party.
Encore flavor, Corky's Barbecue.
Nestled in the heart of East Memphis, located corner of Park and Cherry, is a beautiful residential neighborhood. I'm here at Town Village Audubon Park interviewing a new resident, Carolyn. Share with us why you chose Town Village.
Well, if your parents or special friends need to make that big move, let me share with you my experience. It was tough for me to leave home, but then I discovered Town Village. I would like to highly recommend Town Village to you and your loved ones. After looking at all the amenities and meeting all the people and staff, I was hooked. From restaurant, bistro, 3 meals per day, housekeeping, transportation, security, health care, physical therapy, exercise room, and even a heated pool and spa. Come see us and make your new home at Town Village.
Visit us and call Daniel at Town Village Audubon Park at 901-374-7342. There's no place like home, Town Village.
The FedEx St. Jude Championship returns to TPC Southwind August 12th through 16th. Watch the PGA Tour's top players in the first event of the FedEx Cup playoffs while enjoying free food and non-alcoholic beverages with a Grounds Plus ticket. Tickets available at FedExChampionship.com.
Now back to Wolo and Friends on Sports 56. Here once again is the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin.
Memphis Tigers, that would be Tim Doolin and Chris Godwin, former Memphis Tigers, I should say, long time ago, Memphis Tigers. For the baseball team, we're squaring off in the Connie Mack World Series in Farmington, New Mexico. Tim Doolin, Chris Godwin. I know you guys each made the semifinals. Did you make the finals? Did you play each other for the championship in Farmington?
No, we didn't. Chris beat me in the semifinals.
Wow.
And then he lost to a really good D-bat team out of Dallas in the finals. But what a great event. What a great experience for all of my teams and all the players that got a chance to participate.
I saw an interview with the two of you that was, I guess, a YouTube national thing. And it was pretty cool. Because it's great to see two guys, same organization, get that far in that very, very prestigious World Series.
Yeah, no, it was great, and like I said, I built the organization around the philosophy of developing players and maximizing their exposure. I didn't really put it together to win trophies. I don't need any trophies. And yet we've won a lot based on, I think, the fact that we do things the right way. Chris does a great job of running the organization, and super proud of him and what we've accomplished since I moved to headquarters there in 2017.
No, I've noticed your voice is a little soft today, almost like you're a little down, a little depressed, and I'm guessing, I'm attributing that to those Cubs sweeping your Dodgers.
Oh, I knew you were going somewhere with this.
3-0, baby, in Wrigley. I think the Cubs have taken, what is it, 6-9? Something like that from the Dodgers this year.
Well, I can tell you, PCA is turning himself into a superstar. I mean, This guy, he's in the same conversations as Ohtani I saw this morning on
Actually, he's
on ESPN.
He's taking the lead in the Vegas odds on who will win MVP, and a lot of that is because Ohtani's not pitching anymore.
That's right. But he's putting these guys on his back, and he's rolling. I mean, this guy, he's hitting with power. He made some swing adjustments about a month ago, kind of in his load to try to get into his legs a little bit more, which is definitely adding power to his production. Plays the game the right way. I think, obviously the Cubs have got to continue to to play well to sneak into the wild card, but they are playing really good right now. And what's crazy about it is not to discount what the Cubs have done to the Dodgers, but they sweep a 3-game series, and you look up in the division, and the Dodgers are still 8 games up on the Padres. So
but let me just say this to you: look at the Cubs' record. You realize it's the 5th best record in Major League Baseball right now.
Well, that's great, but that don't get you in the playoffs. They got to continue to play well in their division.
They got like a 7-game lead on the wild card. They're 5 up on whoever's the next 2, but the 4th team in the wild card hunt is 2 games behind that. It's 7 games they got a breathing space. The Cubs are going to make the playoffs, my friend.
Well, I'm with you, and here's what's really cool about that division, and we've talked about it ever since we started the show, all the way back to George. Is this division has been up for grabs every year at the beginning of the year, and as we get into it, it would be super cool to see the Brewers, the Cubs in the playoffs, and both of those teams, the Brewers especially, scare me to death if they're going to face the Dodgers, the Brewers and they're going to see, arguably the best pitcher in the game twice with the Brewers, and guys don't score runs off this guy.
Well, I would have to think, if you're looking at this, I would think the Cubs and the Braves and the Dodgers and the Brewers are going to end up being in the Final 4.
Yeah, I think you're right. Again, it's going to come down to which one of these teams that comes out of the National League is playing the best at the right time, i.e. they got to be healthy. That's the one thing, the one thing that you've got to look at history and look at the roster of the Dodgers have been able to rest their guys, make sure that their premium guys are sharp when it comes to September. Adding Skubal, getting Ohtani some rest. You're going to have some more injuries, some tendonitis or et cetera, where your pitchers are going to go on the shelf. But yet to be able to say, we got another guy that's premium arm, it just makes it tougher for the rest of the league.
Let me just say this. I think the Dodgers are going to three-peat. I really do. They're going to get Snell back. They're going to get Glasnow back. Now they got Skubal. The Japanese pitcher, Yamamata, whatever his name is. Yamamoto. I watched him.
You know how I remember that? Wolo, this dates us. Tojo Yamamoto.
There you go, the wrestler.
There you go.
Yamamoto, I watched in Chicago's American League Park that used to be Comiskey. What is it? Guaranteed rate now or whatever. It's some credit thing. I watched him. He had a no-hitter against the White Sox, and the White Sox were on fire at the time. So they're deep, and they've only gotten better. I know they're a little banged up now. I think Freddie Freeman got hurt yesterday, but I think in the end they will three-peat, and there haven't been very many three-peats in the history of baseball.
No, and you're right. And here's another soapbox is, I hear all the people complaining about the Dodgers and complaining about, that they've circumvented the system. No, they figured it out, and they run a good business. And it's not their fault that they have such depth in their minor leagues to be able to trade prospects to get a Skubal. You look at the Rays. The Rays have been in the race for the last 6 years, every year, one of the lowest payrolls in baseball. They do an excellent job of developing players, and so be it. They know they're going to lose those players when they become arbitration and free agent eligible. They'll trade them, or they'll, and try to get something for them. But don't fault the Dodgers for figuring it out.
No. You made that point last week. I mean, first of all, they got Skubal with, I think, the best guy in their farm system was their number 5 prospect. So, I mean, they didn't have to give a 1, 2, 3, or 4. So right. that tells you the Cubs had to give up a number 2 prospect in their moves. And by the way, most people think the Dodgers, the Cubs, and the Guardians were the biggest winners in the trade deadline. I'd love your take on that.
Well, I think that when you look at what each club needed to solidify their chances to get deep in the postseason and to win the World Series, there's no question about it. They did, and it's not as easy as going out and finding the right player. The right player. There's a lot of adjectives that go beside that guy's name. Is he going to fit in our culture? Is he going to be a team player? Is he going to, add to the style of play that we play if it's an offensive player? That's why you saw Bryce Harper bitching and moaning about before the trade deadline. We got to get some help, and they go add, arguably one of the best pure hitters in the game, similar to back in the day at Tony Gwynn, and Bryce was so committed to it he moved back to right field. So I think you gotta take the temperature of the team. You got to listen to some of your players when it comes down to it. I think I told you several months ago, Mookie told me during spring training when I was visiting with him that a lot of times Friedman will go to Mookie and to some of the Lee Ohtani and say, "What do you think about us acquiring this guy or letting this guy go as a free agent?" And so I think you got to. It's much more complex than people think. Oh, well, look at this guy's stats. You got to go deeper into that. And I think these clubs are rolling the dice in some avenues, but in a large part of it, they're doing a lot of vetting and a lot of homework before they pull the trigger on somebody.
Last thing, I'd love your stance because you represent, your group does, so many different players. The prognosticators are all saying there's going to be a lockout because the owners want a salary cap. The players obviously are against a salary cap. The overwhelming fan response in polls is fans think there should be, for competitive reasons, a salary cap. What is your take on what will happen? Do you think the owners will lock the players out? I mean, baseball is in such a great position now. It's back to being so popular. TV ratings, fans in the stands, like Wrigley was crazy this week for the Dodgers. What's going to happen, and what's your stance on a salary cap?
Well, it's ironic that you asked. I'm in LA right now and was in meetings all day yesterday with both of our lead CEO and owner of the agency and getting their take. They've been in the industry 35 years. They've seen it all. Their take is it's going to be a lockout for sure. It's going to last at least a month, if not longer. Again, I think I mentioned it last week. The Major League owners know they've got all the analytics on the business side of it. The first month of the season is a loss leader for them. Weather, school's still in session, so they're not making net dollars at the park the first month compared to the rest of the year. I don't think there's going to be a salary cap. They don't think there's going to be. Both of these guys are on the committee with the Players Association of adding their input to their opinions on what the players should get. And look, all these owners, the valuation of every club has gone through the roof. They're billionaires for a reason. They're making lots of money, and they want to make more. Well, the players don't think so, and it's the last major league, of all the major leagues in all sports, the only one that doesn't have one. So I think they're going to dig in their heels, and the players will end up conceding a lot of things, but I don't think they're going to give up the salary cap.
I'll ask you, what they might give up next time we talk about this. It'll be interesting, and I don't know if let's say the thing lasts 6 weeks. Do they shorten the season? What do they do?
Well, they'll shorten the season, and then you'll have you got to have a spring training that gives players a chance to get game ready and back in shape. The minor leaguers are going to suffer. The draft is probably going to be condensed somewhat, and it's always been the case. Whenever they've had these negotiations, they always concede for guys that aren't in the big leagues, and that's typically the brunt of it goes on the minor league guys. And I don't think they're going to reduce the draft, coordination of when guys are going to be eligible. I still think high school players will be eligible in the draft. The owners were proposing to make it college players only.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's going to happen. I think the draft, it's 20 rounds this past year. I think they might reduce it to 15 rounds. And the owners are making money on all of those moves because they're allowing the Power 5, the SEC, the Big 12, they're allowing those schools to be their minor leagues.
Right.
That's why they reduced the number of a lot cheaper. They don't have to pay the players, and they let them.
Right.
And it's not only cheaper from that aspect. It's like the risk is diminished, because a lot of times you draft a high school player and pay the guy a lot of money. The body of work's not there enough to know, is this guy really a good player or not? Whereas you go to play in the SEC, it lessens that risk of making a mistake and paying a guy, $2 or $3 million, and he never gets out of A-ball. That's losing a lot of money in the stock market.
The odds are, if he's a star at the SEC level, he's going to make at least AAA.
That's right, and that's exactly what's happening. And you're seeing guys, move faster through organizations. I think there was a unique take that John Smoltz had on it all yesterday on a podcast. He talked about that he thinks there should be a first half and a second half playoffs, or, where if you win the first half, that allows the small market teams to sneak in and then have two different trade deadlines. So I think I just wish they would broaden their scope of trying to figure it out versus just.
Well, they do have some minor league baseball. The Redbirds won the first half of the International League. So there you go.
That's right.
He's our man on baseball. He's Tim Doolin. Safe travels, and we'll talk next week.
All right, well, thank you.
Thank you. That's our guy on baseball, Tim Doolin. He's brought to you by Shell Dunn. Temperatures are soaring. The heat index going to be over 100 starting tomorrow, just in time for the pro golfers to come. Kills me. But besides the temperature soaring, so are the interest rates. The inventory of homes is climbing. And when you want to sell your home, who are you going to call? Well, I got the guy. It's Shell Dunn, who gets the job done. That's why they call him Shell Dunn. He's Sheldon Rosengarten with Mark Spensdorf Realtors, because he sells houses in any kind of market, good, bad, even terrible markets. He can do it. He's been doing it for 40 or 50 years. Don't take it for granted. Your friend, a relative, or neighbor who might be in the real estate business can do right by you. You can talk to them, make sure, and talk to 2 or 3 real estate brokers, says Shell Dunn. But make sure you talk to him and then judge for yourself, because he'll tell you about that highly successful strategic marketing program that means the difference in when you sell and what you make. So you're going to be in the sweet spot to beat your competition in the marketplace today. That's the way things are going. So to do that, call my guy, talk to him. You can call at 483-0546, or you can go right to MemphisRelocate.com. Relocate's right in the name. That's MemphisRelocate.com or 483-0546. Do it now. Talk to Sheldon Rosengarten. We take a break. Back in a minute right here on Wolo and Friends.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
If wedding bells are in your future, you need an unforgettable engagement ring from a jeweler you can trust. And that's been James Gaddis Jewelers for over 60 years. With a huge selection and the best prices, James Gaddis is a master jeweler and diamondologist. Beautiful jewelry from James Gaddis is always the right choice. Choose from rings to earrings, necklaces to bracelets, and gemstones to watches. Layaway and financing available. James Gaddis Jewelers, 4900 Poplar, online at GaddisJewelers.com, and Instagram at Gaddis Jewelers. Say I do at James Gaddis Jewelers.
Moving is stressful, but Black Tie Moving can take the worry out of the process. Whether you're moving across town or across country, moving your home or your office, your personal moving concierge from Black Tie Moving will work with you to design a plan that perfectly fits your budget and needs. And they're available 24/7 to answer any questions you have. Give Black Tie Moving a call at 901-316-6196 or go to blacktiemoving.com/Memphis to get your personal, no obligation quote from the moving experts at Black Tie Moving.
It's time for the FedEx St. Jude Golf Tournament, which means it's time to celebrate at Half Shell and Forest Hill Grill. Both restaurants are teaming up all tournament week long with happy hour, food and drink specials, and giveaways all day long. After a hot day watching the golf tournament, come to Half Shell or Forest Hill Grill. Always generous portions and pours. Enjoy local draft beers, favorite beverages, and happy hour Monday through Friday from 3 to 6. Everyone is a regular here.
Now back to Wolo and Friends on Sports 56. Here once again is the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin.
We head downtown. It's time to talk with the Hall of Famer Jarvis Greer, who also, by the way, is the most half-full guy, never half-empty guy that there is. So I want you to make me feel better about the news we received yesterday from the PGA Tour. Good morning.
Well, Dave, I wish I could make you feel better about that. I think, wow, like that. That's like, I don't know what they're. I'm like in a quandary. So you're doing what? So the top guys cannot play on this tour
Correct.
here, whatever we're in.
That's right.
Challenger Series. It's like, well, what? Why that? I mean, they always, the top guys don't play every tournament. They don't, and not all the tournaments they play are big tournaments. So why restrict them to just 20? Huh?
They will be.
Yeah, they're restricted now, but it's only 20 tournaments. So they just play 20 tournaments and that's it?
That's it.
That's like crazy.
It's gonna be the 4 majors, the 15 $20 million purses, and then the President's Cup or the Ryder Cup. So that's 20.
I just don't see why they didn't go back to the way it was, before. If they're going to do that, you pick and choose the tournaments you're going to play in on your schedule, and we would not be guaranteed to have the top 70 like we were with the WGC or this last format, the FedEx
Playoffs
Cup Series, but you still would get several really good several top names. I'm not going to say the guys on this next tier are not good. I'm just saying that how many recognizable names are there going to be in the tournament? I don't get it unless it's just all strictly about money. But I mean, it's like, goodness gracious, they're only the top guys are only playing 20 tournaments. They play more than that. I don't know, Dave. But we'll see how it goes. We may get some guys that we'll see that'll be in the. They'll get their. They've already got their tour cards. It's not like they're trying to become PGA pros. They are already PGA Tour pros. It's
they're PGA Tour pros that are trying to get to the major leagues. It's, in my opinion, no offense, and I'm not saying you shouldn't do it. I think it's a really hard sell when you're used to being a playoff or a WGC event. But it's a glorified Corn Ferry Tour. Is what it is. Rory McIlroy called it what it is.
That's what he said it. Yeah, that's what he called it. And it's like why do that? Did the players say that they only wanted to play, 20 tournaments? Well, they don't do anything without players say so.
I do think that was part of what they said. Look at Rory McIlroy. He's not even playing 15 events this year. He's getting they're making an exception for this year for him. He'll have to play it in the future, but he doesn't want to play that many events because he doesn't need money anymore.
No, none of them do, really. I mean, if you're talking about just those top guys, none of them need money anymore. They could retire. All of them could retire now and live a good life the rest of their life, right. And so could their children.
Last year, Scotty Scheffler, in earnings, not endorsements, in earnings from wins, was $63 million. You know he made $100 million because he got that from endorsements. So 1 year, he set for life.
Yeah. I mean, no, that's generational wealth. That's not just him. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's generational wealth. That's him, his kids, his kids. They can all enjoy that. You put up, you invest it, and there you go. You're set for the rest of your whole lineage is set up. You know what I mean?
I don't know what
$63 million bucks.
Yeah.
He gets with taxes and everything, he gets $48 million of that.
Yeah.
Still set up for the rest of his life.
Oh yeah.
And so they said this guy that they got as a new commissioner came from the NFL, and all it is money grubbing.
Well, he's and the odds are he's going to set this whole thing up. He's going to PO a lot of people because he is foregoing history. Yeah. He's foregoing tradition. He's all about the money grab with major markets. That's what he wants. And then he's supposed to be Roger Goodell's replacement. If he then goes to the NFL and this thing backfires, my goodness, what a story that'll be.
Really, I just don't know what to. I don't know what to make of it. And they're all going to big markets. Well, the big markets already got a lot of stuff going on. Having a PGA Tour event is not going to change them one iota.
No, like your favorite place to go, Miami, which you and your wife go to a bunch.
Yeah.
They got They brought back a championship series at Doral. So the last time they played in Miami, they had hardly anybody there. We had somebody who told us, I guess it was Jack Sammons, who told us they had to cancel 180 porta potties.
Yeah.
Because nobody was showing up. And I hate to be punny, but that really pisses me off. They got one and we didn't.
Yeah, they don't need it. They don't need it. In places like, and not even mentioning St. Jude and everything that that it's meant to that. And I think they'll probably try to work out some sort of something with St. Jude, with this
they would love to continue to have FedEx and St. Jude as the challenger grouping. And
well, you know what? This is between me and you, Dave. Okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking, if FedEx sent that letter, I said, well, we're disappointed and all that. And since we're not doing the sponsorship anymore, because that was millions upon millions of dollars they were doing to put their name on that, the whole Cup Series and all that. Maybe they might be marshaling some money for a new push for Memphis to get into one of these powers.
Let me just say this. Jack Sammons said yesterday the money that they were putting toward the golf might be the beneficiary of the University of Memphis. He said that. And he would know.
Mm-hmm.
He would absolutely know. It's crushing. It really is. But
not fun.
But now we move on. Let's move on to FanFest. Tigers Saturday. I think it's 3 to 4 that we're on the air with it. So I think the whole thing might be 3 to 5, maybe.
Yeah, something like that.
Here is what Charles Huff said. I was at his press conference a couple of days ago, and he was saying, I really wanted to do this in the spring because the way I coach, it's a process. And where we will be on Saturday, people are going to go to this thing and they're going to go, this guy doesn't know how to coach. Because you're not going to see a lot of great stuff because it's all about the process, step by step by step, that he has planned out. So we're going to be in the early process of these steps. You're not going to see maybe what you would have seen in a spring game. You're not going to see the finished product that you're going to see when the Tigers go to play Vegas on the 29th of August.
Yeah, and it's coming up really fast. I mean, since it's a week 0, coming up really fast. He has his process. Hey, man, it works. He has proven that it works. So I think the main deal is to get the people in the stadium to see the new renovations and all that, which are really, really good. I'm going to tell you, they're really cool. I think they're about finished with the new LED wall on the party deck, which is where I think the ribbon, broadcasting from. Yeah.
The thing they call the ribbon. I'm really interested in seeing.
That's bigger than a ribbon, man. That's like a cowboy belt, a championship belt. It's 16 feet high.
I don't know if that's ready.
16 feet high.
It would be great if it was ready and they showed it to the fans who come. Although, the fans will be mainly on that side, though, right?
I'm guessing they will. I don't know. We'll all find out together when we get over there.
I don't know. Is the big Jumbotron ready to go too?
I know that they've put the other panels on for it.
Okay.
They took out the speakers that were on either end of the old screen, right? They put up the panels for the new screen. So that's, at least physically, that's ready to go. They still got to load it, and all that other kind of stuff.
What are they doing? That's in the south end zone where the new state-of-the-art thing is going to be. What are they doing in the north end?
It's going to be another video board.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
There. Yeah. And so, everywhere you look, you'll be able to see something. And then there's going to be another LED ribbon below the press box. There's on the press box on the east side of the stadium. There's going to be one thing that's really neat. There's going to be sound towers all around this stadium.
Yeah, the sound system's going to be a lot better.
And then also the Wi-Fi towers. We did that tour a while ago. The Wi-Fi towers are already up. Because, it's like a concrete bowl, and it's hard to get a signal in or out sometimes.
Not anymore.
But now, with all that new Wi-Fi up in there, you should be able to, do what you want with your phone while you're in there in the stadium. So it's just going to be really, really neat to see. It's all power washed now. It's all pretty much done. I hadn't been in there in about a week and a half, and they still had some work to do. But they're really making a lot of progress.
I'm not sure the tunnel will be ready until September the 5th when they take on Arkansas State. But
yeah.
I think.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah, real quick.
Everybody's talking about, we're playing UNLV, and then we got to go to Boise, and don't forget on Arkansas State. the Red Wolves are coming over here hungry.
That's a trap
They want
game.
to come over here and beat them, and they're a good team.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they were a bowl team last year.
And Butch Jones. Look, 8 of the Tigers' opponents were bowl teams. This is a tough schedule.
Yes,
no question about it. And that is a complete trap game because it's a rivalry game in their minds.
Mm-hmm.
And Memphis is going to be thinking about what happened in Vegas. And, oh, my goodness, we're going to Boise next week. You better keep your mind on this one. I think that's a great point, Jarvo. Can't wait to see you Saturday. We'll do our first broadcast of the year from the party deck, and we'll see everybody out there at FanFest. Thank you, my friend.
Let me give one quick shout out to all the racers over at Riverside International Speedway. Dirt track over there. It's a bull ring. I got to drive a sprint car, and with nobody else on the track. It was cool, but it was hard. It's like one continuous drift and a 600 horsepower vehicle with mud flying everywhere.
They let you drive that?
Yeah, they let me drive it. Yeah, against their better judgment. I told them I wouldn't put it in the wall, and I doggone near did, because it's just so hard to control all that horsepower going in the turns. But man, it was fun.
How fast were you going into the turn?
Oh well, I know that the real racers can get up to like 110 miles an hour in that little cereal bowl quarter mile.
Yeah. What were you doing?
I ain't doing that. I did step on the gas all the way, but I got off of it pretty quickly because
give me a mile per hour. Give me a mile per hour.
I don't know. I have no idea. I wish I could tell you.
Right.
I know it felt fast. I'll put it that way.
I guarantee it.
It felt really fast.
We're late, my friend. Thank you. Talk to you next week. See you Saturday.
Okay.
Bye-bye. That's Jarvis Greer, who will be on the call with me all year long on Tiger football. He's brought to you in part by Ken Garland. Ken Garland Custom Home Builders. They've been around forever. 3rd generation. Williams in the business. Of course, 2 Kens were there. We're talking about 80 years of building beautiful homes or renovations throughout the Mid-South. If you're ready to pull the trigger, maybe you got land in your family, but now you want to build that dream home, they're the ones that know how to utilize that land the best. Go to their website, KenGarlandCustomHomeBuilders.com. You'll see what I'm talking about. Then call, because he loves to talk. He's a talker, Ken Garland is. And he sees all the little details, but the big picture all at the same time. He's the perfect guy for that dream home or that renovation. I call it renovation with innovation. All the new modern amenities, he knows how to put them in your old house so you don't have to move. I know you love your lot, your location. You don't want to go, but you want the new stuff. He knows how to do it at Ken Garland Custom Home Builders. We're late. Johnny Radio's right around the corner. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Have a great day, everyone.